Today at Frazier Motorcar Company, I have the pleasure to review a one-owner, original 1968 280 SL Pagoda car with 61,000 miles on it. It's got a great story and it's a great car. Here we go, silver car with black interior. And when I say it's a great story, this lady and her husband were driving down the road and she saw one in the 60s and expressed to him that she wanted it, or wanted one, so he bought it. So he bought her this car, and then shortly thereafter he passed away. So she knocked a wall out of her house and put the car in the house. That's why we have such a well-preserved car, and you're going to see in this video that this is an original paint car. It's original miles, and she was the original owner. When I obtained the car from her, she said it was original paint, and of course in my business I immediately thought, oh yeah, well they all say that. And bought the car and brought it back to the shop, and I was looking with my eye, looking for some sort of imperfection, some sort of indication that this car had been repainted because it's so nice. So then we pulled out the paint meter and metered each panel, and it is indeed an original paint car. Love these cars. I've had somewhere between 75 and 100 of these. One of my favorite cars, so I try to buy every one I can get hold of that's any good. This car has no rust, no accident history. As I mentioned, original paint. The only thing that needed to be done when she pulled it out of the house, it had to be recommissioned, commissioned to run. He did the fuel tank, and he did a fuel injection pump, fairly expensive. Of course, drained the oil, and the car started right up. And it still just starts right up. So some of the key components to these cars that you always look for, and this was the joy of buying this car, is it didn't take very long to buy it, because all I had to do was look at all those points that we look for when buying a 280 SL, and this car passed everything. Let's start with that. Of course, we all look for the notches in the fenders. There it is, and here it is. And then you want to look at the lines of the car. Again, I'm going to be redundant. I'm going to go over things we don't need to, because this car is an original car. So I don't need to go over the lines in the car because they've never been altered. Chrome is magnificent. Headlight doors are nice. Look at this. No damage on the grille. No pitting. Just nothing. We're going to open the hood. I'm going to show you all the spot welds are there for the fenders. All the spot welds are on the back, below the bumpers, everywhere. If they had factory spot welds, they're still there. One of the things that threw me, and you're going to see it, I'm going to put it up on the left, was a lot of orange in the picture. When the photographer did it, I said, I can't publish that. People are going to think it's rust. So I thought about it for about a week, whether I was going to publish that picture or not. And I decided to put it up and explain it. And the most discerning buyer or their advisor will know that that's correct. The whole undercarriage of this car is orange or copper or brown, and that's cosmoline. That's factory cosmoline. And then I went on all the forums, because all of the cars I've had before were gray, a gray undercoating, or none. So this had that orange stuff. So I got on the forums, and sure enough, the factory sprayed these cars with cosmoline. There was just recently one on Bring a Trailer, and I questioned the guy, and it looked like the car had been dry iced. There was some of that orange cosmoline on there, and some of it was off. It clearly had been power washed. He denied the fact that it had been dry iced, but it clearly had been power washed, because some of the cosmoline was there, some of it wasn't, some was worn off, some of it wasn't. This was pretty much covered in cosmoline as it left the factory. But it's pretty, so I want to go ahead and go over these lines. The factory gaps are perfect, all the moldings are perfect. Here's another thing, these are aluminum door, and even the best restoration cars that I've had, that I've sold for 180 or 150,000, there'd be a little wave in the door because they're aluminum. Look at this. And then look at the other one. Just razor straight. It's an overused term, razor straight. All the gaps, look how pretty they are. I have so much to show you, but bear with me. Soft top looks brand new, but look at how crisp all of this is. How nice the carpets are, the backs of the seats themselves. Oh, here was something. When I bought it, these were black. All of this was black, and I thought, what the heck? And I started pulling it away, and they had put black electrical tape on these components to keep them nice, keep them in good shape. And it did, it worked. Look at how nice the carpeting is. Dash pad, these are original, it hasn't been redone. Looks like there's a little bit of imperfection on the wood. I had not seen that, but look at this, how crisp all this is. Sun visors are tight, they're not bloated. Original radio, and then look at this, how easy these move. No struggle. This plastic here is not broken like they break. These aren't cracked. Light works. All the gauges. We'll watch this clock. I haven't done anything with the clock. We'll see. It's 4:45 on the clock. We'll see. We'll revisit. See how nice all of this, not scratched up, not scarred up. Steering wheel has no cracks on it. Original steering wheel, it actually had a cover on it when I got it. And when you get those steering wheels with covers, you're afraid they might be cracked, and pull that cover off and it's still like new. Look at this, all crisp. Everything's crisp. 61,000 miles. I'm gonna get too long in this presentation. We didn't clean this car, by the way. This is the way we got it. It was just clean and kept clean. Original pad. How clean everything is. And again, this was not a car that we had to clean up. This is just the way I got it. This pump was new, but all the spot welds are here. All the spot welds are on the other side. There was another nice thing about this car is, okay, look at this. How clean all that is. And then this is the original mat, and it's not torn up. Let's see if I can't remove it without splitting it. No rust. You always see surface rust on these. Not this one. That's the original. Hasn't been redone. And no rust. Tools are here. Books, fantastic books right there on my desk. I'm not gonna be able to show it to you. It has all the books and the brochures for radios and seat belts. How do you work the seat belt? All the original brochures. Look how nice this gap is. This was the original selling dealer. I think it's unsightly, but I wasn't about to start taking it off. Somebody else can go with that adventure. All right, you probably want to hear it start. I want you to hear it start. I'll go ahead and put it up on the lift and maybe go for a drive because it's such a pretty day. And then we'll put the soft top up. You can look at the pictures of the hard top. Like a sewing machine. All right, I have the lift open now, so I want to go ahead and put it up, and then we'll go for a little drive, and then I'll show you the soft top, and the hard top is here. And as I say, you can look at pictures of that. The headliner is nice on the hard top. All right, well, let's put it up. Okay, here we are at eye level on the 280 SL. Again, at eye level, one will see many components or flaws that we don't pick up when it's on the ground. So I try to go to eye level so we can see some of the lower extremities of the car that we normally will miss. So here we go. Again, we've talked about how straight it is because it's an original car. See how straight all that aluminum panel door is. No wax buildup on the trim. She did put new tires on it. John Huntsberry, who's the gentleman who was commissioned to refresh it, he's in Prince, let me look, Prince something, Maryland. Huntsberry Import Automotive in Prince Frederick, Maryland is the gentleman that was commissioned. I talked to John this morning to get his approval to use his name on this video. And in addition to him stating, which he stated the first time, that he thought was the best 280 SL he'd ever seen, which I agree. He said he thought they took the original tires off the car because they were old. And these are nice. I'd note that the date code is 2019 on the tires. They're Hankooks, but they still have the right rear one still has the blue on the. There you go, the blue on the white wall, so it hadn't been used at all. One of the things I want to point out, if no one has ever told you this, most people overlook this, but they have. Well, I can't get any light. But they have what would be the same as a frame rail. Darn it, no light at all. A frame rail at the top of the fenders. All right, I got a light here so I can try to show you. There is a railing right here. And most people overlook when they're inspecting these cars, this railing, which you should not do. And the reason is, it's flat on the top and it gathers dirt and mud and grime and they rust. I've looked at $80,000, $90,000 280 SLs felt up with there and there was a hole. So let me kind of show you that again. That's a railing right here. So you want to feel up in there when you're looking at 280 SLs and look for that. Your fingers are going to get dirty, but you'll be okay. But see how clean all this is. Again, this car was not detailed, it was not clean. This is the way I picked it up from the lady. All right, on to the body. Again, very straight. Gaps are lovely. No rust anywhere. Nice, all the moldings are. I've had restored ones I've sold in the 150 to 200 range. They weren't better cars than this, because this is an original car. I'm going to keep saying that this is an original car, not a restored car. There's some of that blue on the white walls I was talking about. All right, let's keep going. Molding, seals are good. Moldings are clean. No pitting on this bumperette that normally gets it due to the exhaust. Tail lights are clean. No pitting on these components. Look how straight the back deck lid gap is. There's spot welds underneath here, which we will see when I put it up a little higher. Again, molding conditions or seals condition, nice. All right, I'm going to take it on up and I'm going to show you the big news, in that it's still covered in cosmoline from the factory. So let's go on up in the... All right, here we are on the underside. Clearly the fuel tank was replaced. Here's the spot welds across here that I mentioned, still there. This gets rusty. That one's in good shape. Here's this cosmoline I spoke of. I'm going to make a big deal out of that because that's original stuff. And of course the wheel wells are painted body color as they're supposed to be. Look at this. It looks ugly, but if you look through the right eyes of purity, that's beauty. That is absolute beauty. I've had so many of these and I don't ever recall seeing cosmoline like this. Look at that. Isn't that great? Nothing redone, nothing patched, nothing messed with. Original. All of this is original. Again, we haven't even detailed this car. So there's no threat of dry ice or power wash. This is the way the car came off the showroom floor in 1968. I can't imagine being able to obtain a better car than this. A more pure car. All these components are good. All right, there's the underside. I will take it down. We'll go for a little drive, put the top up. Again, no rust anywhere. No accident anywhere. No repairs anywhere. Just love. And again, we've got all those books, pamphlets, stamps in the book from servicing, the way they used to do it. Okay, I'm going to bring it on down. So once more, that's not rust, that's cosmoline, and that is a pretty, pretty thing to see. Shift's perfect. By the way, the clock does work. It's been nearly an hour since I set that. We're an hour later, so the clock is working. Well, that front suspension's tight. It's not wandering. It's not wandering anywhere. Whew, what a nice driving 280. Speedometer's not bouncing. Tachometer's not bouncing. Gauges work well.